Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. Somebody's got to say it. I'm your girl, Lavonda, and today I got a hot topic that may upset a few people, but that's okay because the name of the show is Let's Talk About It. Somebody's got to say it. And I'm one that's going to be obedient to the Lord, not people. I want to talk about what happened to the order. And I'm going to touch on different areas. The first topic I want to talk about and what happened to the order is when it comes to family. What happened to the order in family? It didn't just start. Some things may be hereditary or generational curses, but it all started back in the day. Fathers used to be in the families, and there was order. Then came along government assistance. And in order to get help, they started making it where it was like there couldn't be a man in the home if you want to get assistance. And it kind of started dividing the family. There used to be a time when families respected each other. There were times when children obeyed and respected their parents and any adult for that matter. So tell me, what happened to the order? What happened to the order was men stopped being part of the family. Women got bitter and angry when relationships ended. And everything became a big hot mess. But right there, I want to say, just because a relationship ended, for the ones who have fathers that want to be in the children's lives, I'm not talking about deadbeats. Let that man or woman, because some fathers have custody of their kids, be active in their child's life. Get out your feelings, get over yourself, get over what hurt you. Because at this point, it's not about you. It's about keeping order in your child's life. Because if you deprive that child from having the other parent, and they start to act out and disobey you, want to fight you, want to curse you out, not do anything you say, it's going to be your fault. Because you pushed them to that point, because you did not allow them, because of what you were feeling, to be involved in their child's life. Now, where the order really got out of place at in the family is when you started allowing children to tell you what they want when they want it. When I was growing up, whatever was cooked, that was what you were eating. We couldn't go in there and tell our mama, I don't like that, I don't want that. And a lot of times they may not have ever even tasted it or had it. Just because of the way it looked or smelled, they didn't want it and they don't like it. No. Stop allowing children to dictate to you, the parent, what they want and what they don't want. It's crazy. Now, if it's something they're allergic to or whatever, but just because if you cook dinner and because they want McDonald's, that don't mean you give them McDonald's just because they want it. Another thing that has taken order out of the family: electronics. Yes, I said it, electronics. Because nowadays so many people give their children electronics to get them out their hair. It don't matter if they're failing in school or not. They're going to have those electronics. Because what? You need a mental break. You don't want to be bothered. You're not helping them. You're hurting them. Now, don't get me wrong. Children can earn things. Don't just give it, let them earn it. Teach them how to clean up. Teach them how to cook. Because it's ridiculous that the home is so out of order that these kids are coming out of the home as adults and don't know how to do anything. They can't cook. They can't clean. They don't know how to talk. They can't spell. They can barely read. Because what? They were focused on these electronics. Nobody was paying attention to the grades. Nobody was paying attention to what was going on. When I was growing up, we played outside. We didn't have all these electronics. These kids need to go outside and get some fresh air and play. When they get out of school, the first thing they don't need to have in their hand is a game. Do you have any homework? Well, I need you to do your homework. Put that game down. I need you to do your homework. When my children was growing up, they didn't have all that. They got phones when they were old enough. Not when they was little babies. They teach at a young age. It's all it's doing is teaching the children how to learn and operate electronics before they can tie their shoe. Before they know their ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. That's crazy. It's crazy. What happened to the order? You may feel differently, but that's okay, like I said. I'm going to talk about it. Children failing in school, failing tests and everything, but yet they still got electronics. And half of them with electronics, you don't even pay attention to what they're doing on them because you don't take their phone randomly. Don't give them a heads up. Take it randomly. Go through it. See what kind of pictures in there. See what websites they're on. If you don't know how to do that, go to the browsing history. Because see, they can delete stuff, but they can't delete the history if they don't know to delete it. Now, you got some that'll try to outsmart you. But that's why you need to check these things so that you don't let your children get caught up or set up. Because this AI stuff out here, it's real. And don't look like it's going anywhere. Restore the order in your home, in your family. There was a time when families could get together and enjoy each other without all the drama. But somewhere down the line, the ball got dropped. And now everybody's against everybody. For what? You mad at somebody and you don't even know why. Or you mad at somebody just because somebody else is mad at them. What sense that make? Make it make sense. Because the very ones that you're tossing aside or that you're always constantly putting your mouth on, or you don't want to go to the gathering because this person's going to be there. What happened if God put you in a place where That's the person that is going to be able to help you. That's going to be the only person that you'll be able to need at that moment. You can say, I ain't going to need them. I ain't going to ask them for nothing. You can say that, but you never know. You never know. It's time to restore the order in these homes and in families. Because it is possible that we can all get along and live in peace. It is possible for you to allow your child to be upset and be mad because you took an electronic from them because they're failing. They will be okay. Stop letting them pull on your heartstrings. Stop letting them pull on your heartstrings. Now, this next subject, it's going to be touchy, but like I said, hey, I'm here to obey. I'd rather obey him than to worry about people. What happened to the order in the church? What happened to the order in church? You know what? More people got focused on the dollar, the amount that was coming in, than they got focused on souls. Everybody wants to be seen. You don't have to always be seen. You don't have to be out front. You don't have to have a microphone. Order. When I first came into the church, we had ushers, and we thought they were mean. But we respected them, and it was order in that church. Because them some good old saved mothers. And people did not get mad and upset and want to fight the ushers when they discipline their child, or when they told their child to spit their gum out, or when they told their child to pay attention. They didn't get upset. They didn't look at them sideways. They didn't look upside their head. But now you got so many more people focused on titles and positions and being out front. You don't have to always be out front to be seen. God does his best work behind the scenes. He said, watch as well as pray. If everybody want to be out front, who watching the back? Who doing the watching? You know who doing the watching? Them people you don't like. Them people you think ain't got no power. We paid attention when we were in church. We were not distracted by everything. We weren't doing all that talking or none of that. When my children was growing up, I was in the choir. I had my children sit by particular people or in a certain place. I ain't have to worry about them cutting up or nothing in church. Because I'll be singing in that choir and I give them that look. They straighten right on up. Oh, don't let my children, they old enough to pay attention, they fall asleep in church. We weren't having that. We weren't having that. Because you need to pay attention to what's going on. I used to ask my children, what was the message about? What did you get out of that message? And when they came home from school and they do their homework, I have them reading a chapter out the Bible and write me an essay so I can know that they understood what they read. And I thank God that they did. Because see, when you train a child up in the way they should go, when they grow old, they will not depart from it. They may be mad. why you making them do these things. But at the end of the day, when they get out there in the world, whether they stray or not, guess what? They going to have that word in them that they can always go back to. I know it's a different era, but guess what? This day and time, it is a lot going on in the world. It's a lot going on in the schools. It's a lot going on everywhere. This is the most crucial time that you should have order. And instead of allowing your children to play and talk in church when the service is going on, teach them how to be sensitive when the spirit is moving and not be playing, vexing the next person's spirit. Out of order. Teach them that if they're disrupting the service and an adult tells them to stop talking, you're vexing the spirit, or to stop talking, period. Teach them to lose the attitude and not look at people crazy. Don't let them come running to you because an adult asks them to stop talking and you take a whole another attitude. But you want to rep a title. Where the order at? And like I said, with everything that these kids nowadays have to deal with in society and in school, the last thing you should be worried about them having or being mad about not having is electronics during the church service. These older kids, they need to be paying attention. They need to be paying attention so they can have their war clothes on when adversities come up against them in the school or wherever they may be. They need to be in there listening. You don't know if throughout the week something's going to come up in their lives and you're not there or they can't reach you. They can pull that word back out and put it in full effect. God is raising him up a nation. And it's starting in our children now. So why not make them pay attention and get everything in them that they need to keep them activated? Okay, you may pray at home. You may read at home, have Bible study at home. But the house of God is not playtime. Where is the order? You know, if you are active in the church and you can't always be around your kids, sit them by somebody that's going to keep them under control so that they don't disrupt the service, that they don't talk. And when your children go into the bathroom, if you can't take them, get an adult to take them so they ain't go in there and mess up the bathroom. Stop up the toilets, overflow the toilets, paper towels everywhere. Just in the bathroom playing. Where's the order? Oh, you don't like me now, but that's okay. My daddy loved me. I didn't go through all the things I went through for nothing. Now here comes something that's really going to get you if you're already mad. You have intercessors that are trained to work the order, work the service. You have greeters, you have ushers, you have mothers. When the intercessors are down front or called down front or working the altar, if you a greeter or usher, whatever, all you need to do is give them the sheets or blankets or whatever you use Give them to the intercessors. You get back on post. You need to be on post. Not trying to be seen. Not trying to be, loud and all over the place or laying hands on people. If it's not your forte, stay in your lane. Everybody is not called to lay hands on people or to be touching people when people are trying to get breakthroughs and you got the intercessors down there. The Bible says, suddenly lay your hands on no man. And get an understanding, if you're operating from the Holy Spirit and not the flesh will tell you how to be in order. It'll lead you and guide you. Because you should be out front. Just laying hands on people, just be touching people so that you can be seen. Because if you know you're not truly where you should be, and you putting on a persona, stop touching people. Everybody don't like anybody touching on them. Some people that know the gift that they're operating on, the gift they're trying to give birth to, they know they have to protect it. Be sensitive to the spirit. What happened to the order? If everybody is off their post, who's paying attention to what's coming in the church? One person can't watch everything. It's about order. Let everything be done decent and in order. If your leader asks you to do something, just do it without all the back talk, all the attitude. Lose the attitude. They may see something you don't even see that's about to bop you upside the head. And because they tried to warn you, and you didn't want to hear it because you were listening to respond and not listening to hear. And it happens. First person you won't call is the pastor. Or the first lady. You're going to wear them out because you didn't want to listen. Because you was in your feelings, in your flesh. Instead of operating in your spirit. Come on now. Make it make sense. What happened to the order? What happened to it? Like I said, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Trust me, you don't have to be out front for everything. You don't have to want to be seen. Let the spirit prompt you when to move. Operate from the spirit, not the flesh. It's time to restore the order. Because with everything that's going on in the world, there are going to be all types of people coming in the church. All types of people trying to get their life right. And you have to have a spirit of discernment to know what a person needs. And just thinking, instead of just thinking, you all this in a bag of chips and you got it all together. And you can just walk around laying hands on people and touching people. Stop that. Because you can run a person away from the church without having order. And our job is not to run people away from church. We're to draw them in with love and kindness. Stop judging people. Because the very ones you're judging or looking down on because they got tattoos, piercings, this, that, and that, them gonna be some of God's strongest soldiers. Because I remember when I was all rough and rugged around the edges and about their life, it's people that turned their nose down on me. But they said they were saved and sanctified. You saved and sanctified, but you couldn't see that there was something in me or that I needed to be healed, get out of bondage, get out of captivities so I can be free and operate in who he was calling me to be. You couldn't see none of that. But you saved and sanctified. See, you got to be in a position where you be able to see past the outer appearance, past what a person is wearing, past how a person is acting or talking. They may be hurt or broken. This is where the order comes in at. This is where the order comes in at. Because the very one you're talking about are looking down on. Or you can't see what's in them. But you won't lay hands on people. But you don't even know what they're dealing with. Or you haven't even been through anything that they've been through. You can run them right back out that door. And if something happens, that blood gonna be on your hands. Change your mindset. It's time to restore the order back in the church so that we don't wear our leaders down. It's so many leaders folding now and giving up because they're tired of dealing with people. No, you don't. No, if God called you, you stay put. Because what God ordains, he's going to maintain. He said, let the wheat and tear grow together, and he will do the separating, not you. Don't be trying to run people out of the church because you think they don't belong. Everybody belongs. At one point, somebody thought you didn't belong. Now look at you. You've healed. You've been made whole. You've gotten it together. But let's not forget, we live in this flesh and it dies daily. So it's time to restore the order back in church. Restore the order in the family and in the homes. And speaking of order in the homes, understand this. Is God, man, woman, children, cat, dogs, and all the rest of them after that. If you want your home to be in order, your king's supposed to be ahead. And you follow him as he follow God. And then your children. Your children don't come before your husband or your wife. That's order. Whether you like it or not. And if you got a blended family, the order is still the same. Children don't come for your wife. Children don't come for your husband. And it's not your responsibility to try to meet the need of every person that don't want to do nothing in their own life. They got to want to make something happen. Don't let nobody disrupt your order in your home for selfish gain. Or because they want to test the waters and see how far they can push the other person. Don't do that. That's out of order. It's time to restore the order. And like I said, I know some people ain't going to like it, but that's okay. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. And I'm over people because my daddy, he gives me instruction. And if you notice, I never have a paper. I'm never reading from anything scripted. I give what he downloads in me. So on that note, I just want to say, I hope I said something to help you, even if you, in your feelings, if you really think about it, you're in your feelings because I said something that stepped on your toes. All you got to do is buy the right size shoes. And if the shoe don't fit, don't put it on. I am your girl, Lavonda. And I want to thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. Somebody's got to say it, and you know your girl going to say it. Because if he give it to me, I'm going to say it. Have a thankful Thursday. And do something productive today. I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. And God loves you too. Have a great day.